What is the typical high school experience and what does it mean to you?
Growing up in the French school that I went to and having this like European like bubbled outlook on high school, it really looked like what you saw in movies. So like the lockers inside the hallways and the parties and the football games and like all that stereotypical stuff. And I think I kind of idealized that for a while.
I feel like the typical high school experience is being really involved in every activity, like going to all the football games, prom, homecoming, and just like making the most of everything that you have available to you.
Meeting new people, going to football games, being involved in like school events.
Someone on the scene, always like taking in as much information as possible. It's hanging out with your friends as much as possible, you know, like being in difficult classes because you're trying to learn a bunch of stuff.
How do you spend your time outside of school?
So outside of school, I am a competitive dancer, so I spend about 20 hours a week at the dance studio rehearsing for competitions and performances. And I am also a dance teacher, so I spend lots of time choreographing and planning the dance lessons.
I go home and I spend my time with my family, and I work and I sleep.
I spend all my time hanging out with my friends, working, doing some volunteer work at church. And right now I feel like it's a good thing that I have developed my balance between work and school so early.
I have a job at Trader Joe's, so I work there a lot. Then after that, it's just hanging out with friends.
I'm really invested in choir here, so I would say that that's a hobby. And also baking and cooking.
I spend most of my time outside of school, either at school or working at a deli that I work at.
I spend my time outside of school managing my small business and also a lot of sleeping.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself working in the hospital as a postpartum nurse and helping mothers with their newborns.
I will hopefully get my degree in hopefully international business, and then by then I'll also have my MBA. Probably I hope that I'll take a year in between my bachelor's and my master's to get some work experience, maybe travel the world.
10 years. 28 years old is a scary number. Having a job in engineering, hopefully mechanical engineering. If possible, it would be really cool to work at NASA.
Hopefully as a doctor.
As a wife and a mom.
By then, I hope to have a degree in psychology, get my master's degree, heading on to be a psychology professor at a community college somewhere, have a cute little puppy or a cat.
How have friendships and relationships shaped your high school years?
Friendships and relationships have shaped my high school years by showing me who's genuinely going to be there for me.
It's kind of changed every year, but it's definitely made it for the better. With having people to go to in hard times. Without friends, high school would have been a lot harder.
I've learned so much from knowing a lot of different people, and it's really helped me grow as a person.
Friendships and relationships shaped my high school years by creating a huge social space, which I think is an important thing to have. I was able to meet new people and get to experience stuff out of the academic world in high school.
Well, friendships and relationships, they definitely taught me who's going to be there for you outside in the real world aside from high school and who's not.
So before I came to Foothill, I went to a small school with a class of 11 girls. So coming to Foothill, that was a really big change. But luckily, freshman year, I met one girl in my math class who introduced me to her friend group, and ever since we have all been friends.
My friends are like my rock, literally. Like my really like close, tight-knit friends I've had since 2nd grade. Like, they are my rock. I love my friends very much. All of them. If you're my friend, I love you.
What is a high school memory you'll never forget?
When we did Olivia Jennings's The Vineyard, when we went through that whole process of our drama teacher leaving, and then we had to find like a venue, a one-night show in a random warehouse in Anaheim.
A group of girls and my friends dropping off freshly baked, delicious cookies, just whenever.
A high school memory I'll never forget is actually qualifying for CIS playoffs when we won against Almodena High School.
Last year's Nights on Broadway.
My number one high school memory is my sophomore year when my drama class put on the production She Kills Monsters. I have never had an experience like that where students like coming together to put on a production that they like truly loved and something that they were all very passionate about. Everyone was so hardworking. That production as a whole, the people, the cast, the teachers, everything was perfect.
What advice would you give your freshman year self?
To do what makes you happy and not change yourself for anyone.
Go hang out in the choir room. That's where your best friends are and you don't know it yet.
I would tell my freshman year self to not change who I am to impress other people.
Definitely to get involved in a lot of things, and just don't be afraid to get in things early and put yourself out there.
I think the advice I would give my freshman year self is to start looking into colleges early on, because that's something that kind of stressed me out, especially like my senior year.
To my freshman year self, be more confident. I promise you, nobody cares as much as you think they do. I promise you. Be who you truly are. Find the people who truly care about you. They're there, I promise. And it gets better, I promise you.
I think demand more. I think, especially when I did drama, I was always like just taking what was immediately given to me and not like asking for more. And I'd say that, is true for a lot of other parts of my life.
Don't be scared to talk to people. It's good to meet new people and different people, and you don't have to contain yourself to a certain group.
Do you feel like you had the real high school experience? Why or why not?
I don't think anyone has like the real high school experience, like what you see in movies and you read about, and it's not. I learned a lot, I grew so much. A lot of people say that high school isn't fun, but for me at least, I had a good time with my friends and my activities.
I think I did have the real high school experience because I tried to take every opportunity that I was willing to do. Like I would go to dances and like football games.
Honestly, no, because being a part of the IB program and being involved heavily with dance, I feel like my life was just overtaken by academics and other activities, so I didn't really have as much leisure time to go hang out with my friends.
I think so. I really enjoyed my high school experience. I think especially this year, I've gotten a lot out of it. I've been able to be at the front of senior events.
I don't think there's any real high school experience. I mean, some people go through the same stuff, but I've experienced your traditional high school experience. To each their own,
I would say no. I think that, the Disney Channel and things like that gave people a false what high school should look like. And so I would say if we're basing it off of that, no, I wouldn't. But, I found what I love, I found my niche, and I found friends that will be my friends for my entire life.
You've been filming this the whole time. Why?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't want to miss any of it.